Hey guys, what's up? It's Isaac from the GTE Event Group, and today I have special guest Erin. Now, wait, is it Eltrick or Eltrick?
Eltrick.
Eltrick. All right, cool. So, as a DJ, you know that it's my job to know that, but I didn't study it before you got here.
It's okay.
Well, we got to study names, and I got to tell you, you're a bride-to-be as well, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And when's the big day?
May 3rd, 2020.
May 3rd, 2020. All right, so check this out, Erin. I wanted to create this podcast to help couples who are getting married, just kind of give them some tips in regards to things they should look out for or things that they should do. And I figured, who better than someone who's been in the wedding industry so long? But before we get started, let the viewers or people listening to us right now, let them know kind of how you got started in this business.
Ooh, well, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point now.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to college actually, and I started working part-time at Classic Catering just on the weekends.
Right.
And once I started doing that, I realized how awesome it is to work at a wedding. You can never have a bad day. Everybody's so happy and so excited and just so full of love. That was what really got me, is I never had a bad day at that job.
Okay.
And I had 3 at the time, so...
What 3 jobs did you have?
I was working as an assistant to an accountant because I was getting my accounting degree.
Okay.
And then I also worked at Premier Mortgage as just kind of like a little office assistant.
Okay.
And going to college full time.
Okay, so you had a full plate.
Yes. So long story short, Classic Catering loved me, promoted me to event coordinator. So then I started getting in with the customers and the clients and learning that side of things. So it was really all trial and some error.
Got it. So when you started with Classic Catering, what was your position?
When I started and I got promoted?
Oh, so wait. Did you have a different, like when you started with Classic Catering, did you start in one position and then promoted to something else?
I was just a weekend server, on-call person. Hey, we need you on Saturday. Great, I'll be there.
Okay, very cool.
And then the person who was in my position at that time, she left.
Is it Janess?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool.
She left. She had some really big opportunities to take advantage of. So they were trying to hire someone in-house, and I was one of the names being thrown around, but I guess they weren't too sure because I was already in college for something else.
Right.
And I was just like, are you kidding me? I love this.
Right.
It was like this opportunity fell on my head, honestly, overnight. Like, I woke up that morning not expecting that.
Right.
It was amazing.
That is cool. that is super cool. All right, so how long did it take you to become from a server promoted into where you're at right now?
About 1.5 years.
A year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty much working every weekend for Classic at this time?
Every weekend. I was one of the few lucky ones that even got to work during the slow season, so.
Okay, very cool. And it's, just so the viewers know, in your line of work of catering, it truly isn't just the weekend, right?
It's all week.
Right.
I mean, I work Tuesday through Saturday now, so Tuesday through Friday, I'm taking client calls, taking appointments, doing taste tests, having people in to look at their tables and see the china that they like and everything like that. So it really is taking care of everything else, not just the food during the week. And then kind of Saturday comes, and that's when the show happens.
And then on top of that, I'm sure that you guys do a lot of corporate work who are needing food, right? So first of all, I don't think people know out there, Classic Catering is, it's a catering company, of course, specializing in wonderful and tasty food.
So delicious.
Yes, I'm not paid to say that at all. But, okay, sounds cool. So, in between showing, these couples, their linens, their china, you're also getting, prepping food for all these companies and stuff like that, right?
Yes, we work a lot with Clovis Unified. We do regular deliveries for, like, smaller places like Foster Farms. They have their service awards and things they want it catered. So we actually do a lot of work during the week, too, and that's where a lot of the weekday business comes from, is kind of just easier deliveries. And so we have a lot of corporate clients, too, and it's nice because now we actually host the Clovis Chamber of Commerce Christmas Mixer. Okay. And so that's a chance to, like, invite all of those clients. We did the first one last year, and that was so much fun, getting all of our clients together.
Was there a lot of people?
Yeah, about 125 people showed up, actually. They weren't all mine because it was, Clovis Chamber's event. They had people, too, but it was fun seeing all of my clients.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So let's talk about the transition from, what is your position considered at Classic?
Event coordinator.
Okay, so from event coordinator on the catering side to event coordinator on the wedding side. So how did that come about? What was it that, like, that part's cool, but I want to do this.
Well, I've always known I was going to own my own business.
Okay.
That's part of why I went to school and got an accounting degree, knowing that eventually that was going to form something else for me.
Okay.
And once I loved the weddings, I knew I had to do something. I knew I did not want to have my own catering company. It's very difficult. My boss, the owner of the company, is amazing. Like, that's her.
Yeah, very cool.
So I knew I wanted to do something that I was kind of already doing, which was event coordinating. You know, I already organized the timelines for everybody as far as when we're getting there, when everything's happening in between, and when we have to leave. And so before that, it's really just everything else, picking up your tugs, making sure all the decorations get set, little things like that. And I was like, well, that's event coordinating. So kind of just started. Some clients needed some favors here and there. They're like, hey, do you have anybody that can come and set up our centerpieces? Can you guys come earlier? This and that. Excuse me. And when it worked out with my schedule, I would take on those jobs. So I would go and just set the centerpieces for a client one day, and that was kind of how the first few went. And then I was like, this is going to be my business.
Okay, very cool.
Put together website, Facebook, business cards, everything, and just kind of went for it.
And the owner of Classic doesn't mind like that, no? So do you ever find yourself like, okay, now I'm setting up tables and centerpieces, and now that I'm done with this, I need to go in Classic catering mode? Like, does that happen?
No. They're kind of the same thing to me.
Okay.
Even though I'm not the owner of Classic Catering, I take a lot of ownership of it. So for me, like, it's not just about those small things in there. A lot of times with my clients, I end up going into a lot more detail. If we're in a consultation or have some extra time after a tasting, I start asking them about their other vendors, you know. How's that looking? Who's your DJ? Who's your this? Who's your that? And that's kind of how I recommend my vendor friends, but then also go into my portion of it as well. I don't make people at Classic Catering hire me. There's so many great planners and coordinators in the area. Like, that's
right.
As long as they're hiring one, they're gonna get taken care of for the most part. So for me, I even have other people I recommend too.
Got it. Well, I wouldn't say all coordinators. There are some coordinators I would stay away from.
There are.
Oh my gosh, they're nightmares to work with.
And that's what I love about coming from Classic Catering is because I've had chances to work with them already and be like, well, that's not what I'm going to be. But then there's a few right now that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to follow that. You know, like, I hope that I can be like that.
Most definitely. So do you think that the wedding planning side is... what is the word, packed in our area, like too many, oversaturated, would you say?
I wouldn't say it's oversaturated. I would say it could be there if we continue to grow as a little vendor section. I would say we might be there pretty soon. But there are so many weddings that happen in one day. There are so many weddings. Like, you figure Classic Catering, and I keep referring back to that, but they cater 6-7 weddings on a Saturday typically.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then I wake up on Sunday and Monday and I'm scrolling through social media and there's still other weddings that happened that we didn't cater.
Right.
There are probably, what would you say, 10 to 15 weddings happening on any given Saturday?
No, I would have to say way more than that. If I had to guess, I think we're going to be somewhere between 30 and 40, believe it. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen myself at max 16 weddings on a weekend. Yeah, insane. I have a lot of... It's kind of crazy. I have a lot of weddings associated with my name, whether people know it or not. They just, so between all the companies and brands. But I think that's why I've seen so many great wedding coordinators. Actually, very little great coordinators. And I mean, some of these people, you know, it's not even about us. It's like, man, you could have gave the bride a better experience. You could have gave the groom a better experience. It was like, are you just doing it for the money, or are you doing it because you actually care about your job?
Exactly.
And when you find those vendors, first of all, it shows.
Yeah.
You can see it in people, you know. So, and that's actually, Erin, one of the reasons why we love working not only with you but with Classic Catering. You know, for years when people asked me for a caterer, I would always recommend you guys first because of the customer service. I can't tell you that, you know, or I can tell people out there as a vendor, you know, the way that I see the servers come across to the people that they're serving, you could tell, again, do they want to be there, or are they just doing it because they're collecting a paycheck? Mm-hmm. And I've always noticed that consistency with classic catering. I don't even know if it's a thing. I don't know if the owner, what is her name?
Heidi.
Okay, Heidi.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I didn't even know Heidi was the owner until, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. I always thought it was Janess.
Yep.
Yeah, so I didn't even know Heidi existed. Mm-hmm. Hi, Heidi. But anyways, does Heidi go out and, like, say, give me your best servers? Because that got me. Mm-hmm. I saw the customer service. Remember, man, we're doing 300 weddings a year now. So I think we work with you guys quite often.
Yeah.
And I could see the difference in staff.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, I love you guys for that. And which kind of brings me to, okay, now you're an event coordinator and planner. Shoot, where was I going with this? I kind of completely lost my train of thought. Okay. And we're on camera. Hey, I guess this happens. So, what are some tips? Oh, you're getting married yourself. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Awesome. And we have the honor to do your wedding. I'm very excited.
I'm excited,
So, when's the big date?
May 3rd,
May
2020.
Cool. And where at?
Wonder Valley.
Wonder Valley, nice. So, we know who the caterer is going to be up there.
Well, they let me bring classic catering.
No way.
I don't know if this is like...
Oh, so we probably should scratch that.
Well, I don't know. Well, they gave me a price sheet and everything that says venue only, so it can't be just me.
Right.
And that was actually how I heard of it, because one of the people that works there, he had his holiday party with us last year, and we had some time to kill before someone else came, and I was chatting with him. I was like, do you know of any venues? And I listed off my criteria, and he's like, well, Wonder Valley. And I was like, well, I need class catering.
Right.
And he was like, we offer that sometimes. We actually just did that. You should call them. And I was like...
Very cool.
So I think it might be a thing. I don't know.
So I can tell this to anyone listening, especially the brides. This is kind of why you guys want a planner, because of experience, right? Because, I got to tell you, if I were to get married or host an event, I wouldn't call Wonder Valley. They're amazing. They're awesome. Mm-hmm. But if bringing my own food in was a big deal to me, from the outside looking in, I don't think I ever would have asked. I just would have left it alone. They're out.
Same thing. They were off my list. Anybody who had in-house catering, I checked with a few that I really liked, and they were like, no, it's okay. And I'm like, hey, I understand. We don't let anybody at Classic Catering either, obviously, at our venue in Old Town. So I get it. I just had to ask. But a lot of brides might not even know to ask that. A lot of brides might just see what's online and be like, okay, that's it. But when you have a planner or even a coordinator, I know when I coordinate, it's generally month of, but I kind of leave myself open to brides. If you need something, shoot me a text. Not a big deal.
Right.
If you don't have someone to bounce things off of, you might just pass by an opportunity that might have been even better than what you ended up booking.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, have you booked any clients yet that, your month of, right? Mm-hmm. There really is no day of.
Yeah, no. If you're day of, you're already failing, because you don't know what she's got. You need to take that time to call DJ, call this person, call that person, see when they're all showing up. Mm-hmm. Anyways. And
you do that for month of, or for your coordinated pack. That's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of month ofs that don't. I know we don't get calls like, hey, what time you're going to be there as a DJ? Not for month of, but the rural wedding planners that kind of have
the planners. Yes.
Oh man, they're like, all right, you better be there at 2:59 p.m.
Yeah.
If not, I'm calling you at 2. At 3 o'clock, I'm calling you, Isaac. So, anyways, awesome. So, next question I have for you, Erin, is what is some advice? What are some tips that you might want to share with? Really. Yeah. So I'm planning a wedding. I'm getting married. I pick my date and all that stuff. Do you have any advice for me?
Probably the biggest advice that I have, especially in the wedding industry, is that you tend to get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. I know you and I have talked about that before, but people, you need to stick to your budget. Don't get me wrong, you can't just make money appear. That's not the thing.
Right.
But just know that you can't compare an option, maybe like a catering option that's $20 per person versus $6 per person. Yeah, that $6 per person is definitely in your budget. Woo, we're going there. But now you still have to get everything that was going to be in that higher package. And that's not just catering. That's, DJs, that's photographers. A lot of times people don't want the more expensive photographer, but then they're the ones that come with your nice books, the actual edited shots.
Right.
Everything like that. So that's probably my biggest piece of advice, is that you get what you pay for. Doesn't mean you have to go with the most expensive one.
Right.
But then kind of on that note too, my big advice is always just kind of go with what feels right. Even in my own wedding planning, I had a lot of people who I already knew that I wanted. Like you guys, I knew I wanted you as my DJ. Same for catering, obviously. But like venues, photographers, we shopped around, and I just wanted, I wanted the full experience to make myself better as a planner and coordinator.
Right.
But two, just because I wanted to see who made me feel good.
Okay, sounds cool. Yeah, speaking of that, being a coordinator, do you kind of wish you weren't a coordinator through this process as a bride? In a roundabout way?
No, because I can only imagine how stressed out I would be not having the knowledge that I have.
Okay.
You know, I meet the stressed out bride and I'm like, honey, I get it. I'm like stressed out everywhere else in my life but my wedding. Like, let me help you here.
Right.
So for me, I'm just kind of glad that makes my experience a little bit better.
Very cool.
And it helps me look forward to it more.
So I bring that up because once, we meet so many couples here, and once in a while I'll meet someone like, oh my gosh, you're dope. You definitely belong working here if you want to be a DJ, like, and an MC, right? I know I could do something awesome with you. But personally, I don't want to hire them until after their wedding because I want them to experience the experience that I created when you're a couple with GTE, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I can only assume that if you're a coordinator and you see all these different experiences, like, you know, the way I envision it, you know, is everyone talks about the brides, but I'm sure there's some guys out there as well that kind of envision, you know, hey, someday I'm going to meet that special lady, and I too want it to be dope. And I think a lot of times that sometimes people think, oh, the guys really don't care, this time when to show up. It's not always like that. So to you, all you guys out there, all you ladies out there, you know, lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Guys have input too.
Yes, they do have input. You know, if you are in the wedding industry, you know, just don't look at the bride all the time. You know, look at the grooms. You know, they definitely, you know, they care. They want to know about what's going to happen the night of their wedding as well. But anyways, I forgot where I was going off. I was going off on some tangent in regards to you know, guys, girls, and what were we talking about before that? Like,
I don't even know.
You know?
But it's true that some guys do care. Like, I have a couple of couples who the groom always comes, even when it's just me and the bride being like, okay, let's just see where we're at.
Right.
But then other times, I never meet the groom until the wedding day, which is so weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Most definitely. You know, it doesn't happen that much here.
Really?
No, not at all.
This is a more guy-friendly place, though, I feel like. Like, this is what sold my honey when we were here. Okay. I already knew we were leaving with you guys, but he was like, oh, I don't know, we're seeing people. I'm like, no, we're not, but that's fine.
Got it.
That's
so this made him feel more comfortable after, like, coming in here, like, oh, wow, these guys are actually dope. Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome. See here, what else should we talk about? Any other advice you want to give someone out there who's planning their wedding?
Hire a coordinator, which I know is kind of encompassing our question, but you know, sometimes you don't need a full planner. Sometimes I meet with brides and they're like, I have this. You go, girl.
Right.
Like, you go, girl. If that's the case, I will be there. I will pick up your binder, make sure all your little holes are filled, and take care of your day.
Very cool.
But some people need a planner, and that's okay too.
Right.
My biggest advice about hiring someone is don't feel like it's out of your budget, because sometimes it could save your budget.
Yes. You know, for you guys, couples out there, you just never know what these coordinators can do for you. You know, I gotta tell you, you know, we step up and fill the coordinating role as entertainers if we have to.
I bet. You
know, and majority of the time, because people are trying to cut corners and save money, they're gonna opt not to have a wedding planner. I'm gonna look at the camera when I say this. If you can afford it, hire one. Hire a good one. Hire a good one. You know, someone that knows what the heck they're doing. And, you know, I mean, they just make not only the couple's lives easier, they make my staff, my team, you know, and I got a few companies that when we have a good coordinator, the way I look at it is they're a coach.
Yes.
Yeah, and the DJ is like the quarterback. You know, coach is calling the play, telling the quarterback, hey, I want you to run this, and the quarterback's like, cool, and tells everyone else, this is what we're running. You know, so the little football terminology, I guess.
For those guys out there watching that are involved.
or girls. I met a lot of gun-ho football, you know, fans. A lot of women out there love that. But hey, so I agree with you, Erin. Good wedding coordinator. Don't skimp out. If you can figure out a way to make it happen, make it happen. And you never know what secrets they might have to be able to save you some money. Anything else you'd like to add? You want to ask me anything or anything like that? Or?
What's your advice?
What's my advice? Hire a coordinator. We're going back to hiring a coordinator. No, you know what? So my advice is this. I like what you said in regards to, you usually pay for what you get. You are absolutely correct, and I guess my advice is this: buyer beware. I made a video the other day about, this particular company in our industry who, here, I give you all this, and like, oh, that's the price? I'm going that route. Only to find out that the outcome isn't necessarily what they expected. And it's like a bait and switch type of thing. So pretty much, yeah, it sucks. Like I said, there's people in this industry who want to be in this industry because they love it. And then there's people in the industry who are doing it just to put pennies in their pocket, And I mean, here are couples that are investing thousands of dollars only to get a subpar experience. It breaks my heart, and it happens more times than it should. So, yeah, and that was kind of the reason why I decided to come up with this podcasting thing.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sick and tired of. Listen, if someone wants to go cheap way, got it. I understand. Maybe you awesome.
You can still do something nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But don't get fooled. Don't get tricked into thinking. I'm gonna get what I see on Pinterest.
Yes.
And I even was told one time from one of our couples, Pinterest should come with a warning.
Pinterest should come with price tags. That's what I wish Pinterest came from.
Right. Well, most definitely. So anyway, that's why I wanted to create this. I wanted to help our industry and help couples who are looking to book services to just how to go about it. I guess, like you said, book what feels right. That's super important. If someone wanted to get a hold of you for coordinating reasons, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, my phone number.
Want to give it?
Sure. It's 559-246-7402.
You guys hear that? You guys need a coordinator. You guys got the number. And how else will they get
Booking up fast for fall. Let me just tell you what. Or Instagram, Erin's Excellent Events, as well as Facebook. Yeah. I think Facebook has underscores in between the words. Erin's Excellent Events.
Okay. And no underscores in Instagram?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, I guess with that being said, Erin, thank you so much for being on my very first podcast.
Well, thanks for having me on my very first podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. I enjoyed hanging out with you, and I almost wish we would have recorded our first half of the conversation before I came in the studio. That stuff was really good. But anyways, guys, if you're tuning in, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you guys have any questions for us, I could be reached at party@goodtimesent.com or on my Instagram at DJ Isaac Atkinson. I'd love to answer any questions you have. You can reach out to Erin if you guys are looking for coordination. Other than that, stay tuned because this is the first of many podcasts that I'm developing to help you plan a better wedding, plan a better event, whatever you're planning. It's going to be awesome. Just tune in. All right. Thanks again, Erin. Appreciate it. Bye, guys. All right, Erin. What do you think? High five?
High five.
I think that was great.